It's me again. Welcome to Season 2 of Construction Rocks. Now, if you remember, my last episode of Construction Rocks was like 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago. And if you remember, I made that. So, I've been getting lots of requests from you to bring back Construction Rocks, and I've noticed that in the comment sections in various episodes that, you still have a lot of questions about rafters, how to make measurements, and things like that. So, I figured, might as well make a new episode in season now. So, here I am. So, in this new season of Construction Rocks, I will answer all of your questions in the comments section, and I will provide, new learning material, like how to fix things in the house and things like that in this new season. Now, you might notice something different about me, not only my hair and my hat, but also that I have this badge on. And the reason why I have this badge is because I've been called as a church service missionary, and my church is called the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And so what I do as a church service missionary is simply, just like it says, to basically go around those who need help and to serve them, just like Christ did, and to help lift their spirits in this troubled world. And so that's another reason why I'm bringing back Construction Rocks, is because I see that you all need help with understanding construction. And so by making this season 2, I hope to help you with understanding what you have questions with, as well as bring in new materials to help enlighten your mind about construction. And so without further ado, let's begin. So actually, we're going to have to take a road trip. A road trip, you may ask? Well, yeah, that's correct, because the greenhouse is not going to be built in Texas. It's actually going to be built in Utah. So come along with me, just like Forrest Gump, and we're just going to run over there. See you soon. Here I am in Utah. It's quite the long hike from Texas. So let's go ahead and see what we need to build the greenhouse. Just a little breather. So what we need to first build the greenhouse is actually a set of blueprints. So this is my rough idea for the greenhouse right here. So as you can see, it kind of has a triangular shape right here and a ridge right here, with 4 rafters on each side. So there's 4 in the front here and 4 in the back. We have our base right here that will contain the plants, and we also have a door that we will make right here. So that's the rough idea that we have. So a little bit later, I came up with the more detailed plans. So the first part of my detailed plans is the base frame right here, as you can see. So the length is going to be 32 inches long, and the total width is going to be 18¼ inches. And so the wood for the length is going to be the same as 32, but the inside wood right here is going to be sandwiched in between the 2 pieces of wood right here, so we need to make it smaller than 18¼ inches. So as you can see, it's going to be 15 inches that we need to make our width board, as you can see. So now what you can see is the side view of our triangular shape, as you can see. So this is the width right here. So we have 18¼ inches across right here. And then you can see that we have our ridge board right there. And here are our rafters. Now our rafters are going to have a pitch measurement of 20/12. So that means for every 12 inches that it goes across, the height will increase by 20 inches. And so yeah, that's going to be pretty steep. But considering its small size, it won't matter anyway. And plus, since it snows during the wintertime here in Utah, we're going to need to make a steeper roof so that the snow can easily just brush off. And so here you can see kind of the front view of what we will see on our greenhouse. So as you can see, the rafters, we will have 4 rafters on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Our base will be right here. It's going to be 32 inches long. And I forgot to mention that our rafter length will be 16½ inches long if we do the 20/12 pitch measurement. Now, between these two rafters and these two rafters, it's going to be 8 inches apart from center to center. Now, since we're going to put a door here, I think 8 inches is a bit too small to put in plant pots. So I figured out that 14 3/4 inches will be good enough. It will be long enough so that we can put our plant pots in there. So those are the basic dimensions of what we need to make our greenhouse. Oh, and I forgot to mention that the ridge board will be the same length as our baseboard right there, 32.5 inches. So my narrator will take it from here. All right, off you go. Well, thank you, John. You're going to need a 2x4 piece of wood that's 8 foot long. You're also going to need a 2x2 piece of wood that's about 4 feet long. You're also going to need a drill. You're also going to need your skill saw. Oh yeah. You're also going to need 2.5-inch pieces of screws. And you're also going to need some nails with a plastic top on the top, which I'll explain later, but... And of course we gotta need Mr. Speed Square right here, as well as a hammer. And last but not least, a staple gun. Alright, so as you can see, these plants here, these are my plants, well technically my mother's, and she wants me to make something to protect them during the winter time, so that's when I thought, well, I'll just make myself a greenhouse. And as you can see, it's getting to be fall time, and yeah, I need to make this pretty quickly in order to not be caught off by winter, if you know what I mean. Yeah, well, there you go. Alright, so first you're going to need to mark your 2x4 pieces of wood, as illustrated in the blueprints. And you're going to need Speed Square to mark a straight line, and then take your skill saw and cut the boards. So after you get all the pieces cut, go ahead and make a rectangle for the base and use Mr. Speed Square to make sure that it's all nice and square. And then after you get that done, then just go ahead and screw the corners down. Alright, now it's time to cut out the rafters. So go ahead and trace your rafter and then cut it out. So go ahead and use your key rafter to mark on top of other 2x2 pieces of wood so that it'll be easier than just having to trace it from scratch, if you know what I mean. So then after you make your rafters, go ahead and screw at least 2 rafters down. So then you take your ridge board and you screw the rafters onto the ridge board so that it can hold in place. Okay, then you got your ridge board all up. Now, before you put the ridge board on, I should make mention that you should mark on the ridge board where you're going to put your rafters, as you can see right there. Not only on the ridge board, but as well as the baseboard, so that it's easier and to put the rafter on and you won't make it crooked. So then you go ahead and screw the rest of the rafters on. Now, in some cases, your measurements may be a little bit off. I found this to be true with mine, even though I calculated it. It was still a little bit off. So, if that's the case, then, you know, it's no big deal since we're just building a greenhouse. Just trim off a little bit at a time until the rafter is able to fit relatively well into its place. Yeah. So now we have all our rafters on. Yeah, it's all nice and good and pretty and oh, it's just so gorgeous. Oh, it makes me cry. Okay, moving on. So now it's time to put the door on. So go ahead and cut out part of the door and try to figure out a good place to put the hinges on, like so. Now the door height is between the gap of the ridge board and the baseboard, as you can see. So once I figured out that it's all good, I went ahead and screw the rest of the pieces of the door on, as you can see. And it opens and closes pretty nicely. Now, you may be wondering yourself, wait a second, John, there's a gap right there. How would you protect your plants if there's like a gap? Well, let me show you, grasshoppers. You take a door strip, plastic door strip right here, with the adhesive bottom, and you cut it to the length and measurement that it needs to be, and you go ahead and put it on with the adhesive on the wood. So then we take our staple gun and we staple the plastic door jamb. And we put it all the way around the door, as you can see, as much as possible so that there's no chance of the cold air to come in. Ta-da! Oh, okay. I think I'll let myself talk to you for this little part. Now we need to get the plastic on, and so what I recommend is using this type of plastic, the 6mm extra heavy-duty clear plastic sheeting. This will ensure that it will most likely endure during the winter season, and it'll still be clear enough so that light can go through the greenhouse and give light to the plants. Well, thank you, John, for that little interruption. Gosh, so rude. Well, anyway, what I was trying to say is you use this plastic to cover up your greenhouse now. So just like a Christmas present, you just go ahead and cut it, like so. Now, a thing to keep in mind is that you have to make sure that the edge of the plastic goes over a rafter and not over a place where there's no rafter. And the reason is because the rafter will provide a means so that you can securely fasten the plastic down onto the greenhouse and not let the cold air come through the cracks, if you know what I mean. Alright, so after we make sure that it's over a rafter, we can go ahead and use our staple gun again and staple temporarily the plastic onto the greenhouse. Now, by no means is this an effective way to keep the plastic from coming off, but what we can use is our plastic top nails to securely fasten the plastic down. Now, the reason why we use the plastic top nails is because of the surface area of the plastic. The wind won't be able to tear off the plastic as easily as would like a staple. And so we just do this all the way around the greenhouse. Staple, nail, staple, nail, staple, cut, nail, staple, nail, cut, yeah. And you get the gist of it, right? Until finally, we're done! Yay! Wait. We're not done yet. There's some more work to be done. Oh, well. Alright, so this is what you gotta do. You gotta take these L-shaped metal pieces with nail holes in them, and you put it on the greenhouse. And the reason why we put it on the greenhouse is so that we can put a little stake through the holes and securely fasten it to the ground so that there's no chance of the wind blowing over the greenhouse. So then after we get it all staked down, we go ahead and put our plants in. Yay! Oh, now they have a nice cozy home during the winter time. Oh. I'm just messing with you people. Oh, well, that's just me. Okay, I think it's time for me to say goodbye. Goodbye. Okay, take over, John. Whew, well, that certainly took a while, but at least we got it done. So thank you again for watching my first episode of Construction Rocks Season 2, that is. Well, I'm John Cassler as always, and if you want to subscribe, feel free. If you like it, give it the thumbs up. Alright, I'll see you next time. Awkward pause. Look. Just roll the credits.